Hello, and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen. Episode number 211. Bye-bye, Austin, and hello, Miami. We are on the road to Miami, and we are enjoying that. And so we are just going to, this is going to be a long space. And so we're going to let it sit back and chill, and that is what we're going to do. So yeah.
Say I don't gotta dance, I make money move. See you now speak, that means I don't fuck with you. I'm a boss, you a worker, bitch. I make bloody moves. Now she say she gon' do what a hoop. Let's find out and see. Cardi B, you know where I'm at, you know where I be. You in the club, just to party. I'm there, I get paid to be. I be in and out them things so much, I know they tired of me. Honestly, don't give a fuck about who ain't fond of me. I don't bother with these hoes, don't let these hoes bother me. They see pictures, they say posts, bitch I'm who they tryna be. Look, I might just chill in some babe, I might just chill with your boo. Hope you hoes know it ain't cheap, and I pay my mama bills. I ain't got no time to chill. Think these hoes be mad at me, they baby father wanna fill. Say little bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Hit the school, I can get them both. I don't wanna choose, and I'm quick, cut a nigga off, so don't get comfortable. Look, I don't dance now, I make money move. Say I don't gotta dance, I make money move. If I see you now speak, that means I don't fuck with you. I'm a boss, you a worker, bitch. I make bloody moves. If you a pussy, you get popped. You a goofy, you a op. Don't you come around my way, you can't hang around my block. And I just check my account, turns out I'm rich. I put my hand above my hip, I bet you dip, he dip, she dip. I say, I'll get the money and go. This shit is hot like a stove. My pussy glitter is gold. So that little bitch play her role. I just a rope in no rolls. I just came up in no rave. I need to fill up the tank. No, I need to fill up the safe. I need to let all these hoes know they never to say. I go to dinner and steak. Only the real can relate. I used to live with the peace. Now it's the crib with the gay. Really got charms. The life was the place. Hard to let these bitches know. Just in case these hoes forgot. I just wanna check the mail. Another check from all the shots. Bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Hit the school, I can get them both. I don't wanna choose, and I'm quick, cut a nigga off, so don't get comfortable. Look, I don't dance now, I make money move. Say I don't gotta dance, I make money move. If I see you now speak, that means I don't fuck with you. I'm a boss, you a worker, bitch. I make bloody moves.
Hello. And it has been an interesting time. We finished up South by Southwest. We had to do that jam. That is a huge jam that is a favorite to me in Alt Mom Trades. If you don't know who Alt Mom is, she is an amazing person. And I love using the word amazing with her because it is amazing. Talk about someone who I have spent nights after conferences and events with a car full of Degens with that song jamming out. Yeah, it is, it's fun times. We have 14 hours and 23 minutes left of driving to get to our next location. Are you ready for that ride? How long do you think we can go for together? Do you think we can go all the way? Who knows? Let's try. I'm always down to try. AWS is going to hate this. You know, more or less, Twitter may hate this as being a recorded space, but you know, there's no way to really get my spaces out there without that. So, you know, I'm sorry, Twitter. I'm sorry, AWS. We're probably going to get rug pulled at some point, but we will be back and we will have fun to go. So yeah, as we send out some quick tweets. Question is, will you be able to join us as well? And you know, we have to, you know, shout out to Livery Square. But you know, our huge shout out of the night goes to Meta Tattoo Club. But you know, it's been an interesting day with markets. Um, you know, ETH has gone up. Let's take a look at that and see some of the things that where the market is at today. Um, some big and so normally, you know, I always have full market reviews, but I've been driving, so sort of off that mark right now. But we do have some big things. Bitcoin is up to 26,865. Has hit as high as 27 today. It hit 27,668, um, and so broke that 26.5 that a lot of people put as a breakthrough number. And good to sort of see that go through. ETH has pushed through as well to 1774. It pushed above that 1700 mark, and even hit over 1800 with a high of 1821, 1821.9. So sort of really nice to see these numbers coming through in the market. You know, some new movements within different prices. Obviously, there's been some bump also with BNB. Not even 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I think it was at around 250. Now it's back up to around 336, and yeah. So it has been. It was a week ago. It was at 274. So a good $60 bump to something that's super steady. In the last day, 3% gain. The last week, 22% gain. In the last month, a total of 7% gain. But it dipped all the way down to 260s. You know, the gain over the last 6 months has been 27%. And it has been a very interesting case to see these markets go like this. We do see a lot of new things coming out on ordinals. Big pump in BTC with the big push through from D-Gods. Shout out to D-Gods doing their launch as well. And so super interesting to see them resurrect their gods that way. And really fun to see what we have going on across the rest of the metaverse, and everything like that. So, what have you seen going on today? We do have some interesting pieces uh, coming through. Uh, uh, you know, sort of fun taking the highway, but one of those things that we do have to do a shout out to. There might be a huge accident coming up or something. We just had the boys in red and blue drive by, so interesting piece to see there. Um, and yeah, so something might have happened there. Hoping everyone's okay. Um, as we start to see the slowdown happening. Um, it has been a night of red and blue. Um, so yeah, no. We're gonna do a huge shout out to all of those that see what they, um, you know. Um, One of the things that we do have coming up is the Arbitrum airdrop. So please be aware of scams on that. Please only use the Arbitrum Twitter, use their Discord, um, their main Twitter page, or uh, if you have a main question, you can always go directly to, you want to find it via a different route, you can go through their Uniswap's Arbitrum Bridge, which will then bring you directly to ArbGate. And so that will help with the bridge. With the airdrop happening in 5 days, one of the things that did come out is they're looking for delegates for their governing council. Yours truly, me, did apply and put in a policy request, a nomination ticket for myself. So hopefully, maybe if you get the time, you can go vote for that. Would love to be a governing council member for Arbitrum in that ecosystem. If you have questions on airdrops, but really it comes down to participation. Um, same thing happened with Optimism, as well. You know, Optimism and Arbitrum, and we'll see that with other chains as well. There's a couple other chains out there like Kava. Kava is the EVM version of the Cosmos ecosystem. And then there's also Stars Network within the Cosmos ecosystem. Some really cool stuff there. One of the fun things what we will be seeing is if there's going to be any participation, proof of participation going on for Pulse Chain, testnet. We'll see what happens there. So go do a little bit of fooling around there. We have some fun stuff planned, and so it's just going to be a night where we're just going to be here for the vibes. We got nowhere else to be. We got enough Red Bull to last us. We have 164 miles to go till empty, and um, you know, we might get some guests in a little bit, but man, let's just have fun on the road. And that's how we're going to do it. We're going to just have some fun on the road. And yeah. one of the fun things driving through the outskirts of Houston is all the racers. There was some cool stuff from Meta Rides on some of their street racing stuff. Big shout out to Y0 as well. But some interesting things going on all the way around. So one of the things that you might have seen come out is that's some of the things from today that I know about. I've been on the road, obviously. One, Ben Armstrong, aka Big Boy Crypto, is getting sued again. And so it's one of those things to where when you are an outward-facing face, like he is, it makes it a very easy target. The claim. My understanding of the claim against him is that he promoted FTX, which caused the loss of someone's funds. It's one of those things to where should that person be held responsible for buying their own things, or can they place blame on someone else? This is a two-part thing. I don't know this person's connection to Ben Armstrong, but at the same time, Ben didn't go in. To my knowledge, Ben didn't go and force this person to transfer their money to FTX and then force them to keep it there and not move it off at any time whenever they chose to. So I just, blaming influencers. FTX was, so this is my take. FTX was meant to be a safe haven for people. But then at the same time, I didn't like FTX because I thought it was a chain and token killer. It took, it invested and bought up cool tech projects and cool Air One, and then it just straight up killed them. By being the market maker, they were able to set the price and effectively kill things, and that's why I didn't like FTX. Never used the platform. Never owned FTT. If I did, via some of the diversified little token packets that I used to buy, then I did. But go and seek something out specifically because it was FTX owned. Nope. So yeah, it's one of those things where you throw enough mud, hoping something sticks. But this is one of those things to where, or not only that something sticks, but that people just, are willing to do a payout to make it go away. This is one of those things to where, you can't be held accountable for someone else's criminal actions if you don't know that there's criminal actions going on. Do you have some mud on your face as well? Sure. But it's just like you could look at the Silk Road days. Someone attempted to sue the United States Postal Service for delivering drugs. The United States Postal Service did not know it was transporting those drugs. And so it was not held accountable, or could not be held accountable. And so I find it funny that when everyone gets swindled, do you you have a leg to stand on, and to try to blame others. I know a few projects that got their money stuck with FTX, not because they were trying to make a big buck, but because it was attempting to be held safe. And that's one of those things to where it can go like that. It sucks. It's not supposed to go like that. We're supposed to have trust in these systems. And I had a really good talk with Walrus last night. For those of you that joined in, I want to thank you. But yeah, what's the word I'm thinking of? We talked about it in, you have your trust in the code and trust in the protocol. A lot of trust was shaken up this last weekend due to USDC, but really what it showed was that, an asset can be pegged as an asset, and people that run it will own up to it. I do find it funny that some people got scared and sold out of it, but I also understand that. But then there was a lot of opportunity for new people to make large pieces. Welcome, Phil.
How have you been?
I have been good, busy, but
Yeah, same.
how have you been?
Pretty good. I am in bumfuck South Carolina.
You're in bumfuck South Carolina. I'm in bumfuck Houston right now, on my way to Tampa, Florida.
Oh, what part of Houston? East or west?
I'm driving east right now.
Have you already gone through Houston?
Yes, I think so.
So you're like Beaumont, Baytown side, right?
If you say so, sir.
Okay. You about to hit like Louisiana?
Yes, and I think in about less than an hour. I think
Yeah, you're already on that side.
45 minutes or so.
All right, cool.
Yeah. How have you been?
Man, yeah, I've been chilling. I've been watching the bank's demise. How about you?
I have been having fun watching the bank's demise, but at the same time, knowing that a lot of innocent people got fucked, and I think what happened was that linchpins were pulled to see what would happen, and to do certain things, and sometimes you don't know what's going to happen, and so there was more of a push out than planned.
I could see that.
And so especially with the piece of what's the word I'm thinking of? Signature Bank, getting their charter pulled by New York on Saturday. I think that was done on a weekend to prevent a bank run. And just because they wanted to take over that assets and phase it out of crypto and sort of chokehold people.
I agree. Because they treat crypto kind of like Euro dollars.
What'd you say?
They treat crypto like Euro dollars.
Oh, yeah. So it's been one of those things. I've been seeing you around some spaces lately, man.
I have seen you as well.
Yeah. You'll be you'll be happy to learn of a new proof of work chain that I learned about.
Which one?
MYbe chain.
What do they do?
So they're a 3-layered proof of work chain. So 3 layers of proof of work chains, all working a sync, and based out of Austin. Got to meet them during East Denver. They're QU.ai, and
Okay.
yeah. What up?
What are they mineable on? CPU or GPU, or what are they?
You can use both.
Okay.
So yeah, it's one of those things to where they layered it open for different reward structures with region, state, and zone, and where the chains sync up at whenever they hit a primed hash. So,
nice.
yeah. But
Coming around to the proof of work side, I see.
I've always been a proof of work guy, but I'm also a proof of stake guy, and I'm also a proof of history guy.
You know what's also better that you forgot too? Proof of stake and time.
Proof of stake and time. So proof of time would be participation, and then that would be Zen.
Nice.
So have you worked to see if you've gotten an Arbitrum airdrop, or did you do anything on Arbitrum?
I have not, because I don't fuck with proof of stake. I keep a majority of my holdings. The only proof of stake coin that security token that I like is AVAX.
Okay.
It's the only one. I fucking hate Solana. I'm sorry. I just do.
That's all right. I will.
It's just down. It just goes down more than my girlfriend. Really, it does. Just goes down on me way more.
So then, shouldn't you throw more money at it?
It's not going down good.
Well, Solana's gone down 10 times in the last, and not even down, but has paused the chain.
That's down.
10 times.
That's down.
No, it's literally
that's technically. That's technically a down time.
It
is.
All right. So
shit's fucked.
Does it matter?
Red coin good.
It's still a beta. That it's still not considered mainnet yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof, that's fucking sad. You guys have all that money, all that fucking brain power, and you guys can't even keep your fucking network up. That's a shame.
It's still in testnet.
Bro, Ethereum was technically testnet, and it never went down until it went to proof of stake.
I remember a couple rollbacks. I think I remember 2 rollbacks.
2 rollbacks?
Yeah, because there was yeah.
Interesting. I don't remember that.
I will have to
ever
check
in my time.
And besides, there was once then a hard. Am I on the right? Am I going the right way? I don't know.
Hard forks are different. Pay attention to. Are you driving while you're doing a Twitter space?
Yes, I'm.
Are you driving? Like you're behind the steering wheel? Bruh, you are breaking so many laws right now and endangering so many other people on this roadway.
I am not breaking a single law because I'm using my hands-free device, and there's 30. There was it was like the mousetrap of Houston. Like I got distracted by Route 69, and then I was thinking,
hey.
But no, it was I don't know. Look, it's one of those things that there's going to always be a need for different things. And so you really can't, look at it, the difference between cash, credit card, and checks. You can't.
Well, if that's the case, like it's not, Solana's not a peer-to-peer cash system. It's not, because it's a volatile asset, and anything that's quote unquote digital cash in real terms it should be like a stable coin. It's like DAO, it's USDC, USDT, yada yada, because those hold a value of $1 and they're not volatile. You're not going to lose any value or gain any value. That is
Yep.
quote unquote cash. Like when I go to fucking Walmart and I go to buy a candy bar, I'm giving them $1.25 or $1 whatever. I'm not giving them like fucking 20 Doge and then, oh, hey, someone just front run my sale half a millisecond earlier. Here's an extra Doge. Like that doesn't happen. So peer-to-peer cash is really just like stables.
Yeah. So one of the cool things that I got to see, and I'm going to post this video up. I think I'm going to post it up tomorrow. I was asked to wait till the weekend so it could premiere out, and my phone recording the video wasn't the greatest, but a premiering of a Bitcoin with due to the inflation pieces in Senegal and Ghana on the GFC franc that's there, the African franc, and so how they're using Bitcoin for peer-to-peer transactions as well. So
nice.
Yeah, and I have an interview set up with Frida, the director of the movie and stuff like that, and it actually made it into South by as well.
How was South by Southwest?
It was really fun. I'll be honest, I went a lot, and just real quick, want to see. I shout out to my Zen friends. I see you there, Break, and I see you there, Denny. If you want to put in a request to speak, come on up. If you're on Android, I guess Twitter is hating you right now. If you're an Apple phone, I guess you're okay. But South by was really fun. Went to a couple different side events with different the EU. Went to the German house. Went to Austria's house. I didn't make it to the French house like I wanted to. I was supposed to go meet the French ISS commander, the first French guy to be commander of the International Space Station. I missed that.
Space is fake.
No, it's okay. Flat earther.
Yes, it is. Yeah, dude, check into it, bro. Just look into it.
Oh my god.
Just look into it.
I look into space every time I close my eyes. What's up, Taco? Hey, Phil. Nice to meet you.
What up? I see you there. How are you doing today?
All right, I'll catch you later. Good night.
Phil, where are you going?
Bye, Taco.
Sorry, Phil.
Taco, I'm about to go cuddle next to a nice little female lady friend.
Oh, okay. Well done, sir.
I
didn't have to pay nothing. This one's been sticking around me for a while, so.
Well done to her.
All right, peace out, guys.
Phil, are you coming to NFT Miami?
NFT Miami, when is that?
It is the 30th, 1st, and 2nd.
Of March?
Yep. And then of April.
Possibly. I'm on this side of the world, so I could.
Yeah, it's like an 8-hour drive. It's that.
Yeah, it could be. Interesting. All right, let me look into this.
All right, I'll see you there.
All right, because now I can't do that because my mom's closing on the house on the 28th. Sorry.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm helping my mom move in.
Good. You're a good
my
son.
mom's 63.
You should go. Buy her a Bitcoin.
I've given her some, and it was actually real fun fact. This is back like a few years ago. I gave her like 2 or 3. This is when it was like sub 1,000, and I gave her some, and then she lost it. and I still clown on her today. I'm like, Mom, you just lost like a fucking 150 grand.
Oh man. Well,
But these are times ago.
all right.
But I'll catch y'all later.
CFL
Bye, virgins.
Bishop, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm excellent, my friend. I am excelente. How are you?
I'm doing well. Um, I'm having a good time. I'm on the road. Uh, it is a fun day here in Twitterland. We got 13 hours and 49 minutes left to drive, and we might do a Twitter space the entire time.
Wow. I hope so. I hope so. I'm not sure if I'll be able to last the last 13 hours with you, but I wouldn't be surprised though if you find Denizen and I in baking alongside with you, brother. That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, it's fun. Break. I'm accepting your request. If you have I think if you're on Android, it will kick you out, huh? Or it might not. Who knows? Break.
Oh
How are
yeah,
you
he's
doing?
good. Yes.
Hey, I'm doing good, Taco. I'm doing good, man. I'm just listening to you guys. So, where you heading? Are you heading to Miami for your NFT or what? Is that where you're going?
Yep. Driving to Miami for NFT Miami. Um, hitting. Gotta just leaving Austin for South by Southwest. Previously was in up in Denver for ETH Denver and a few other conferences.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's quite a drive. I mean,
Yeah.
that's also adventurous. You know,
Yeah.
just stay safe out there. You know, there's I-10. You know, you go to I-10, 95. It gets traffic up there.
Yep. Yeah. It's a minute. So we're driving to Tampa, Florida to go relax for a few days. And then we'll head over to Miami. So um, gonna miss NOLA by a few miles, but who knows? Might take a detour into Louisiana or deeper into Louisiana and hit up New Orleans for a second. Never know.
Oh yeah, so you're going. Oh, so yeah. So you go from Denver and
Uh,
then towards. Oh, you go 75
yeah,
towards Tampa. Okay.
we are already past Houston, almost into a few. I think we're about 45 minutes away from Louisiana, and so yeah.
Yeah. I know exactly where. Yeah, I used to live. I used to live in 305 in Miami. I used to live up there, but I
Okay.
don't. I don't live there now. I
Okay.
mean, so yeah. I wish I could be down there, man, and meet everybody up there. But it's gonna be interesting. But I've never been to any kind of function. I'm new to this. Not really new. I heard of. I guess new. I started get back to it. All this
Yeah.
cryptos, NFT, all that stuff. But you know, I'm fairly new.
All right. Yeah. No. I don't know where you are right now, but there's usually, if you hit up like Eventbrite or Meetup, you can usually find an IRL event going on around you somewhere, whether it be a Crypto Monday or a Bitcoin meetup or any other blockchain meetup. Um, it's one of those things. We talk about crypto with our friends that are also into crypto, and but everyone else, we sort of just, we stay silent. But this is where we get a chance to sort of uh, talk tech, meet builders, and be safe along the way, and learn even more. So, yeah. Mischief,
Yeah,
how are you
thank
doing
you.
out there? Oh, what did you say, Break?
Just I said, man, be safe out there. You know what I mean? I know it's late up there where you at.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah. We're good to go. We are nice and recharged, and uh, one of the NFT clubs I'm part of, families I'm part of, Meta Tattoo Club, is in a competition with this other NFT project, and so the voting was done via posts and other things, and so in the NFT world they call them shoeies, but I call them shoot the boot. Shooting the boot, and so I shot the boot with 2 Red Bulls and a Bang energy drink. So um, I'm good for right now.
nice, nice. All right, I'm just gonna listen.
Yeah.
What's going on, Chief? What's going on with you, Chief? I haven't heard from you in a while. He must be rugged.
Yep, technical issues here, my friend. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Loud and clear.
Oh, oh, cool. Yeah, no, I'm good, bro. Good breaking. Oh my god, this is a stranger in the house too, Mister TJ.
Yeah.
Shit, look who you're bringing in, Mister Taco.
I,
You're bringing all the elites in, all
ah,
the bloody.
all the
It's you, mate.
funnies. All the
You
funnies.
know.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a good room to talk. It's one of those things like when you pull out the grill, you just start
Yo,
cooking and they just show up.
yeah, brother. They should. You should rename yourself also. Um, Talking Taco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ, how are you doing tonight?
Well, I was going to say tonight. You confused me for a second. Lunch, just past lunchtime here, mate. I'm well, and yourself?
All right. Nice, nice.
He's
Hey,
across the beach, mate.
that's
Hey,
right,
brother.
brother. Hey, mate. Good afternoon. And Taco, awesome space with Walrus yesterday, mate. Awesome, bro.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, no, it was really fun to hang out with Walrus. Got to do a space, got to hang out with them, and we were gonna go to a cigar lounge, but they all close early in Austin on a who would have thought on a Thursday night that everything closes at 8:30. So we spent the night in a hookah bar, and we were talking for like 2 hours before we started the space, and so um, it was a really good space that we covered online. But man, he's one person that I love talking with, and I get to see him again near the end of April when I'm back in Austin for Consensus. Um, but really good to see what he's building out on Pulse with Liquid and sort of getting that going too.
Yeah, I think you guys gelled really, really well. It was awesome.
Yeah. No, it's a good flow. Good back and forth. So, um, they're really, it was sort of hilarious. We met up. We were gonna meet up at the ATX DAO party event. He called me like right when he got there. And I was like, "Oh, I'm in back," and it's just starting to rain. And as soon as I said that, the sky decided to open up, and just I walk in. I got trapped in a different building because it was coming down so hard. So we spent like 30 minutes just sort of texting back and forth before finally it left out enough that I could get over to the other building and like people were out of the way. Um, but yeah, no, that was a fun space last night with them. So break. I've seen you in a couple other Zen spots and stuff like that. What do you got going on in your world, man? Tell me about you, or tell us about you if you don't mind.
Well, I should have met Bitcoin a long time ago, but I didn't. I just pretty much I know all about it. I didn't get into it. I was just busy on life, and I know it came out, and I just didn't go. I just didn't took my initiative to mine the Bitcoin, but and then I missed out on that Genesis one. I missed out, and then didn't get back to it until recently, a couple years ago. So now I'm back, but of course I brought the top, like always, but hey, it is what it is. It's a cycle, and
Yeah.
um, and usually every 4 or 5 years is always a cycle. It always correlate with the stock market, basically.
Yeah.
And so here I am in the bear market and try to catch up. So
Nice.
so hopefully my investment will take off. So that way I can um, try to break from 9 to 5. That's what I got the name, breaking free 9 to 5.
Okay.
so so yeah, I know I got, but I have a computer, the HP computer that I have back then. I remember my like my I remember when I lived with my of course my I remember when my ex I guess my ex-girlfriend uh, uh, bought something on that computer. So she said, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be a new thing." So whatever, yeah. So she she bought it like $20 worth of that, whatever that thing is, like a B, like has a B sign in it. so I was like, I didn't think about it, and the computer got lost. So I don't know where's the computer now. And I was like, it's like an old HP tower computer. I mean, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that is a tale as old as time. A lot of people, got into things very early, and then upgraded their computers and forgot about stuff. Um, or lost it. There's the guy in the UK who has 17,000 Bitcoin that he's been digging through the landfill for. So um, it happens to people. So yeah.
yeah. I'm just trying to get back, and I'm just trying to get back on this side of the track, because the other side of the track, you know how it is. It's pretty much almost the same. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, like how the regular finance and cryptocurrencies is very similar. You know what I mean? It's very, very similar the way you see it.
Yeah.
Like you know how they, but in a cryptocurrency we write it in code. Like
Yeah.
it's just the same thing. It's just, now we are the basically the economic energy
Yep.
that drives our price. The same thing with the regular finance. We are
Yeah.
also the economic energy on the regular finance.
Yeah.
So this is so I see both sides, but hey, I'm just trying to get back to it, and hopefully that
I need one more.
And I don't want to get tied up on the working on 9 to 5 and then trying to get debasing my currency every time to print that printing machine.
Those two. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hey, and it's one of those things to where, you know, don't don't down the 9 to 5, because that's that's where you make it. That's where you create the value for you. You know, and it's hard for a lot of people to find the value elsewhere, and so um, you can look at blockchain as being a solution, especially on the banking side. Um, it's really interesting to see what's been going on um, with the financial institutions and regulations, but um, until we get to a point to where enough people say enough, um, we still have to have trust in our banking system. It might lead to some fallacies and some broken trust, but it's still one of those things to where um, you know
yeah,
we
it
still got to
has to.
use it.
Right, it has to exist. It has to
Yeah.
exist. You know what I mean? It's not going to go nowhere.
No.
It has to exist. But the question is, if both can exist, well, both can exist, but there's always going to be that. Um, there's always going to be that between other. What can I say? Other. What do you call it? It's hard to say. I'm sorry. It's been late. So, it's like it's always gonna be like water, oil, and hot water. You know what I mean? You just can't get along because it's one of them was a threat.
Yep.
It was a threat, and they're trying to, of course, trying to take it down. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's like human nature.
Yeah.
If there's a threat, it's always gonna
Well,
try
eh,
to.
I everyone likes to say that it's a threat. I don't really think that they see it as a threat, and I know I don't, like, because no one, it's just something that they don't have control over, and so it's one of those things to where it's either have control over it or don't. And you know I don't really think that a threat is something that you're scared of or that you think might you know go off on. But I think that a lot of the industry sees blockchain as something to control, because you control the money, you control the people, basically. And that's where eventually we'll see enough CBDCs coming out and everything like that, as a form to you know
Yeah,
say everyone, hey, it's good this way. So yeah.
yeah. I agree with you. Though. The CBDC, it's gonna come out. They already come out with the. If you look at the website, the ISO 210. You know all about it, right?
Yeah.
The the ISO 2000 or 210, and you got also they got that. If you go down to the AtlanticCouncil.org, it's already some countries in the pilot program on that.
Yep. Yeah. No. What we're gonna see, I think it's July, where we see Fed Now, which is the Fed's version of their instantaneous transaction settlement network, which happens to run on blockchain. Uh, but their own net. We'll see that come online. Um, and um, that's going to be Um, I think it will start to be kicked. People get kicked down the road. Well, we're nearing the end of that road, to where implementation is going to happen, and it's just going to be one of those things to where even degens, I'll probably have a CBDC wallet somewhere, just because like that's that's how that's what I'm gonna need to vote or something like that. Who knows? But yeah,
You're right. You gotta operate if you want to have a business uh, outside the crypto. You gotta operate in a centralized way. You
yeah,
know, if you want to you want to bridge your asset. That's the only way you can do it.
yep,
There's no way all around it. Just go ahead and take it, and then it is what it is.
yeah,
So I see it. I see the whole thing's coming. I see it's also going to be also there's going to be a shift
yeah.
of
Uh, one of the cool companies that are not even companies, but one of the I can't even say country. Yeah, I can say country. Um, that I got to meet and talk with, like their citizen relocation business director, basically, was Puerto Rico, and what the regulations that they talk about, their regulations of becoming someone that lives in Puerto Rico. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah,
I think Puerto Rico is it's a crypto friendly. Uh, I say not country, but it also the Commonwealth from the United States. But in order to, I think you got to have an LLC.
no,
Yeah,
no, I don't even have to do that. But uh, it's just as an individual. Um, so yeah, um, it's one of those good things to deep dive into a little bit more and talk about that a little bit more as well.
yeah. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. I don't know. Like maybe maybe I'm reading it wrong. But I know Puerto Rico's. Yeah, it's one of the. I guess you can say when you unwrap your fiat. I mean, to your crypto to fiat.
Yep.
It has a like
Yeah.
the
I guess the best way to for Puerto Rico, it's a crypto friendly country that's also a U.S. territory. You know, so um, it's just like moving states, I guess you could say. Um, but
yeah. I
got
agree.
more information to actually finally deep dive into that rather than reading this or reading that. Now I just get to talk to someone of the government, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, there's gonna be there's gonna be the light in the tunnel
Yeah,
before it's said and done. But hopefully, of course, it's like there's always gonna be like I said, it's like it's gonna be some don't like it and some will. I mean, it is what it is. It's just no human nature, you know. But the way I say to get in crypto, I don't, for me to get in crypto is it's just not trying to get my financial freedom.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That's what I got into, and I should have jumped in a long time ago when it was there. But back then you're like whatever, like it's just a you know what it is until you realize it and it's too late. Well, not really too late because there's some protocols out there that's being deployed. You know, that can still get you can still get in it too early, and who knows, you might get you might have financial freedom when the bull run comes. So
Yeah. Um, yeah. And so you're participating in Zen, right?
I'm participating on Zen and Hex, and I got some like a couple Matic. I got diversity.
Good.
Like
Uh,
you,
are you how many are you doing Zen on like as many chains as possible, or do you have some favorites?
yeah. So I'm moving. I'm moving around. I got to move around, I'm swerving through traffic
Okay.
throughout the blockchain. So hopefully, just swerving the traffic. That's all, and
Nice.
hope that's all you gotta do. You gotta just I know everybody's talking about Zen that is like very very deflation. I mean inflationary. I mean it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like I said, we start from the bottom. Look at the map. I'm starting the bottom of the map when you look at it. And so,
Yeah.
what's next is gonna come up, right?
Yeah.
If you stop on the bottom of the map, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go down. It's the bottom, bottom. The only way to go, the only way is to go up is the only way is to go up. So that's the
Yeah.
way I see it. That's the way I see it. So uh, either way, man, I'm just it is what it is, and you know um, if if it does, well, hey, good, great. If it don't, eh, great. But I guess you have to find a way to either you gotta just find a way that you love doing
Yeah.
and not and make money out while you're doing it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's all. So that's all, Taco man. What about you? Tell me about yourself, Taco.
Uh, um, all right. So, do you want the spiel, or what do you want to know? How about you ask the questions? Because
No,
tell me
like
about you is a very open-ended question.
so like what made what like how you how did you become what my question to you is like when did you start and why and how why and then is it for your freedom or is it for just stuff maybe is that what you love to do or
Yeah.
is
So
it
I started in blockchain in 2012. Um, I was running a sports book, and I was able to. I had access to a computer lab, and I partitioned uh, half the hard drive on all of the computers in the computer lab into miners. They were on all the time,
okay
and it was another little form of being able to take and give money from people. Um, and to be honest, it was just something that was fun, you know, and fun in like an annoying way. Um,
okay I see what you
like we did paper wallet transfers back then, um, and so the way I like to say that I helped the Bitcoin economy was one time I had folded up a paper wallet and had washed my pants, and when it came back it was there, and I realized, but I was just too lazy and too frustrated with it to figure out what that transaction was, and so threw it away and threw away 60 Bitcoin.
oh wow
um, you know uh, Doge was the same way, like Doge was Doge was made to have fun, you know, and got you know, in and out of Doge when it was nothing because it was just fun. But yeah, no. When I sold my book, my sports book, I was able to sell all my Bitcoin and stuff like that at the time, because I got out of it, and it was one of those things. Wanted the money. This was back in like 2013. But I've sort of been behind, and then I started getting a little bit more active with projects 2016, 2017 behind the scenes. And then in 2018, decided to step in front of a camera and started creating videos of like education. And, just sort of, and then got into a lot of the play to earn games. Got into a couple companies and play to earn. Then got a little bit more serious and got brought on by Dex, and so I work for Dex, and now I work for their. Now I lead their ambassador program.
So what decks are you working on? Like what decks?
Stella Swap.
Okay.
On Moonbeam.
Okay. Yeah. I use that. Yeah. I use that to move around. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
And then got brought on by Certic and Hacken to help with BD connections. And then I do marketing for a lot of projects. And last year, started up my own company, 0x Degen. So sort of like BD as a service, strategic advisor. So yeah.
Now, do you use like the server? The server that you use is Amazon?
For our decks?
Like when you like? Well, yeah. Well,
No, our Dex is on private servers in Singapore and Dubai.
okay.
Yeah, private.
Singapore is going to be. It's going to be the IT tech of Silicon Valley in California soon to be, and that's what it's that place is booming.
Yeah.
Indonesia, and that's what I mean. That there or India.
Yeah.
That two places up there. It's just there. Everybody's moving out of Silicon Valley. So what do you think about that? Was the SB Bank.
Silicon
Was
Valley Bank.
Yeah. So what is your take on that? Like, is it?
My overall take on that is it shouldn't have happened, and the bank shouldn't be faulted, and that's because the bank did what every other bank does.
Yeah. Every land. Yeah.
It trusted the government, and I'll be honest. This is, you should be able to trust your government. Out of all the things, they say death and taxes are certain, but one of those things that we should be able to trust is our government at a financial level, And so that bank did what every other bank did, and bought U.S. bonds and SMBs, and then with the Send network getting shut down caused a run on Silicon Valley Bank. So with Silvergate, um, then having Signature Bank closed over the weekend as well. That was a power move by New York. And
I think.
so
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So I think everybody has different opinion, but when the treasury comes in there and have a news conference and say, well, when payments of our debt is surpassing our income of our revenue, that's an issue.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So when they heard that speech, of course they're gonna panic. They're gonna dump that bond. You know what I mean?
Well, so the thing that crunched those bonds is they bought those bonds when when interest was low,
Right.
and so then if I were to sell you something and say like, hey, this is good, and then I print and yours is solid, and then print 500 more of them, it devalues the one that you have.
Of
and
course.
and so it's one of those things to where SVB was doing was a really big good hub, and has been a hub for close to 40 years. And people are like, well, there that so much money shouldn't be concentrated in one spot. No one else was stepping up to the plate, and providing the services that they were, or else there would have been competition. It wasn't that they were drowning competition out. It was they were providing best in class service. They weren't they weren't they weren't they weren't offering insane. They weren't doing any like aggressive incentivizations. They weren't doing any crazy interest. They weren't doing any Ponzi scheme stuff. They weren't doing anything bad with people's funds. They were doing the same thing that every other bank does now. But what when a report like that comes out from not from SVB, um, one, you have to wonder, you know, if the Fed's going to release a report, why they don't send that same report out on every other bank? That's one of those questions. Is the linchpin that they pulled from Silvergate, um, to shut Silvergate down, um, gave them the opportunity to make up their the new official office. What is it? It's like FOMC, the Federal Authority Office Management Controller, or some shit like that. That allows them to basically go and take funds and then say, hey, the depositors are good, but the shareholders are bad. And now we're going to sell off the shares that we just took from the shareholders and sell them off, 60 cents on the dollar. And we're going to keep the funds. And so in my mind, that's a state seizure. And that was done because now what they're doing, the information that I've seen so far, and that was as of yesterday, there might be new information today. I've been on the road, so I haven't been able to go see if there's been new information out. But basically what they've released so far, information that I've seen, is that who they're selling it to, the only people that can actually look at the books are part of the Boys Club already. They're already chartered banks. And if they do take it over, or they have to stop all crypto blockchain um, exposure.
Yeah, I agree. I think.
But one of the things within the banking industry, when the FDIC does what it did, the major banks that have charters, I think there's 17. There's either 17 or 27 banks. They have that by their banking charter, they have to put bids in for that. And so the question is, if the FDIC is saying it's bad debt, why are they forcing other people to buy it? And if it's really bad debt, why do other people want to buy it? Or is it just it's the current standard, and it's just debt that hasn't been paid off yet?
Yeah, it's just pretty much, yeah, it's future debt, future.
Yeah, and so it's
I,
a lot of it. It's unrealized losses, I guess you could say, because there hasn't been a default on it. Payments still made on it, and it's still good. It's just not getting collected for a couple years. So
right.
it's one of those things to where um, it's one of it's the punishment through non-regulation. It's okay to do it unless we say you're not okay, and then everyone else is okay doing it. You're just not.
Yeah, but I heard they inject 300 million on that bank. Uh, Either you call it, I don't know how you're gonna call it, QE, or I don't know. It's something somebody said.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
QE is qualitative easing,
Right. So
and yeah, and so they did that because after the main report came out from the Fed that caught from Silvergate, which then named Silicon Valley Bank, which caused that, and they pointed out, instead of pointing out all the banks that were included in Silvergate, they only pointed out SVB, and so um, it's one of those things to where they pulled the linchpin to shut down Silvergate. The unintended consequence was Silicon Valley Bank. And then while they were at it, they're like, let's just shut down Signature Bank too. And so I was in a couple spaces. I got to be I don't know if you listen to Simon Dixon or Caitlin Long, two really good people to listen to.
yeah, I followed them. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be in a space with both of them and talk. Because it's like Caitlin, with what she was trying to do, what she is trying to do with Custodia is 108% collateral. So meaning if there's a total of $100 in deposits, the bank has $108
So
on
it's like
hand.
that's all. Okay, so like a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yep. So, well, basically, like all the reason like why banks have you nominate who your home bank is so that they can know what bank needs to have a percentage of your money. And so right now, if any by law, it used to be like 8%. Now it's like 13%. And so what that means is that if everyone went to their bank, like you pick out like any Wells Fargo, and everyone that's assigned to that branch, if they went to that branch to withdraw their money, uh, they they would only have 13% roughly to be able to give out.
So is that's bulk cash that they keep just in case I want it.
No, the bulk cash would be even worse. Would be even
Oh,
less. I'm just talking about uh, quick access to funding, because every single bank does the same thing. As soon as they get your money, they keep it on their ledger of how much you have, and then they go send it into a bigger pool, and then they go buy stuff with it and put it into investments and bonds and such like that, and treasuries and REITs and mortgage-backed equities and everything like that.
yeah, it gets relent. It gets relent to bank to
And
bank to bank to bank. Yeah.
every single bank does that. Chase, First Republic, Wells Fargo, J.P. Morgan, Charles Schwab. All of these banks do that. They just move more money around. They move your money around, lock it up so that they can earn interest on it, and then they can pay you a pittance for letting them play with your money.
Well, that's not great. Like I know it's a velocity. If you just moving currency to currency, you're just moving currency to currency. But there's no, does it have a product and services to observe that? Because like if there's no product and services to observe it, then it's just going to just hyperinflate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's one of the things where that blockchain, you know, brings out is that transparency and that separation of user funds. And so, you know, we got to see Coinbase. You know, Coinbase is, you know, what where Kraken just sort of took it like a champ, even though Kraken wasn't doing anything wrong. Supposedly, they just had some I's not dotted and T's not crossed. They weren't doing anything wrong, but they got slapped with a huge, 30 mil? No. TJ, correct me if I'm wrong, but was it a $30 million fine or mischief, if you know?
They left. Yeah,
Oh, they let.
yeah,
I'm driving, so I didn't even see them leave.
yeah.
But no, and so uh, these banks are doing that, and so Coinbase, what they did is they made it an opt-in service, and they clearly defined that said, "Hey, we're not paying you money from staking your assets. Your assets are paying you money based on you staking them, and we are just the middle person, and we're going to take a fee for being that middle person." And so that's where they're fighting back. And so we have to, like, everyone sort of has this thing against sexes, and if someone's doing shit above board, it's got to be applauded and it's got to be like supported, in my opinion,
No,
because
no.
yeah.
Let me ask you this. When they inject that 300 million on the bank, so now does it create hyperinflation because we already inflationary? I mean, we already in inflation. I mean, it's gonna just create more debt. You know what I mean? Just by printing.
So, well, what are you're talking about the 280 billion that Silvergate had?
No, no, no. No. I'm talking about like they try to bail out the SBF, the bank that fall out, the four other banks. They said they're gonna
Oh,
like they pump 300 million in there.
yeah. So that all they're saying is that they're going to back their own dollar bills up. But what they're doing is they're putting that money in to pay out all the depositors, and then they're making Silicon Valley Bank buy that debt, and then they're selling that debt. So they're basically taking the 300 million and handing it out, and then they're going to be selling that off for a profit to other banks
Now, on
and other
right
institutions.
on this age,
So there's no
right?
it's one of those things where they're not even buying they're buying back their bonds that they already owed at a discount to make depositors whole. But then at the same time, they're selling that off that the profit that they already took, they're reselling it, and so they're doing like almost like a double
Right.
dip on it.
So my question to you is now, as I say, let's say I am an investor. Does it for me by I'll be having a second look on that. You know what I mean? Because now for me, it's like, well, why are you buying my like? I'm gonna why I should buy that thing again when the it could also be happening again.
Well, yeah, and so it's one of those things to where um, you're buying like it's gonna be you're buying it cheaper than the dollar cost. So as an investor, you're like, I'm making, you know, I'm paying 40 cents on the dollar, And even if it happens again, I'll get paid 60 cents on the dollar, or and so you're going to make 20 cents no matter what. You're either going to make 60 cents or you're going to make 20 cents.
Right. It can go either way. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things to where, this was one of those things where I don't think it was an intended consequence of them, nailing Silvergate to the wall. But it goes to show that, they use this opportunity to then sort of redistribute other people's wealth in a way.
Yeah. I see.
And the only people that really got messed around with this were all of the projects and all of the tech companies that had their money at SVB, and like I think the biggest consequence that came out of all of that was with MakerDAO and DAI, because DAI is always pegged. The way the contract is written is not that it's pegged to $1, but that it's pegged to 1 USDC.
So 1-to-1. Okay.
And so it got flooded with USDC, which then sort of, it didn't break the peg, but the peg went down with it.
No, yeah. Now let me ask you this: Are we already in the bottom, as far as you know? Like, what's your take on this in the market? Either crypto or either the regular stock market. Like, let's say, are we in the
with the stock market, it's always hard to call. I think I put in the stock market, I always put my money with energy companies and pharmaceuticals. That's just, and telecommunications, energy, communications, and pills, 3 things that are always needed. And, the rest of the market needs energy. The rest of the market needs communication. And the stress of both of those cause people to need more pills. So when it comes, that's why those are, when it comes to stock, that's what I put my money into. As far as blockchain, I think yes, we're we price wise we could call it a bear market. What I think a bubble burst in a way, but I don't really think it was a bubble burst, because when a bubble bursts, it decimates and breaks everyone. Everyone's underwater and sells their debt and sells their houses or lose their houses and stuff like that.
Right. So do you
everyone
think
just held and kept building?
Right. Now, Taco, do you think, let's say 4 or 5 years from now, do you think the real estate market is going to bust?
I think the real estate market will have another setback with years, because home prices are skyrocketing.
Skyrocketed, yes, yeah.
And once again, it's becoming, people can't afford, their homes. Like my mortgage, used to be $2,100. Now, because taxes keep getting raised, it's $2,700 a month just for my mortgage.
Well, the reason why they raise taxes is because they are trying to offset the losses. But you know that. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, they can't. The losses, if they're not getting, if they're not getting, I mean, it is. It is what it is. I mean, you have to raise it up just to offset it. You know, it just, But I'm hoping, like the purchasing power to our dollar is almost completely decimated.
Yep.
You know, but hey, and I'm just in speculation. But also, so tell me about. So I got one more question also, Ted. So other countries using the BRICS, like the BRICS alliance. Tell
Hmm.
me all about that. I mean, tell me all about that.
Tell you about what?
Like the BRICS, like it's say like Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. They're not using the dollar when it comes to trade. They're using their own currency.
Yeah. Well, they a lot of those countries. Well, so they're breaking away from the U.S. dollar, um, but all of those countries are still pegged to the U.S. dollar in a way.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, yeah,
you
they
know,
still do.
um, right now, with the conflict that we're having with Russia, it makes it very easy for Russia to say like, "Hey, we're going to sell you oil at half price, and we're going to sell it to you for the ruble," and so it's strengthening the ruble. But there was recent announcements from one of the lead, the central bank of Russia, that it's building its own, uh, you know, cent, you know, digital currency, and it's going to be built on Ethereum, and so we'll, we'll see what happens there. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you for. Yeah. Okay. I came into the space and just because mischief was in the space and invited me to the space
Yeah.
and I guess I follow you, so I was like, oh yeah, you were here because I think I spoke to you before. I think you were in the other space. I forgot what I forgot what space were you on, but it's
On
been a
this
while.
space every day, and then I do hit a lot of other spaces as well.
Yeah, I think you went to the Zen space.
Yep,
I think,
I go into a
but
lot of Zen spaces when I can. Um, I can do fun. Um, so yeah.
yeah, you're rugged. I think you got a dead spot somewhere on there. What would you say? Can you
Oh,
repeat that?
yeah. No, I was saying that I go into a lot of Zen spaces, and then I got to meet Jack and Sun Tzu in Denver, and got to spend time with them, and that was really cool.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I know they were in Denver, for the Denver East.
Yep, Eth
Yeah,
Denver.
that's probably yeah, East Denver. Yeah, that's probably like when if hopefully if I'm gonna decide to what I'm gonna do or stick with the 9 to 5, I probably end up if it does, but I take it a day at a time. You know what I mean? If it
Yep,
does happen, I'll probably okay. Well, yeah, I might go to this meetup and see what I can. And I go in there and learn the technology aspect of it
yeah,
because it is changing and it's changing fast.
yep,
It's so fast that's like, man, I remember. 'Cause I remember it was a dial-up back then, the dial-up and all that stuff. Like it's like and
yep,
download songs. You probably download songs when there was LimeWire or what was the other one? Napster.
yep.
It takes like hours just to download one song. Sick shit. You know.
Yep. I
And
remember those days of Napster and um, you
Kazaa.
know, Pirate Cove, BitTorrent,
Yeah.
and yeah, you
Like
know,
Napster, Kazaa, all that stuff. Like
LimeWire.
man, LimeWire, yeah. And
Yeah.
then and then and then they got that chat room in there. Um, of course, the if you do you remember there was a chat room in there? Like there was like I put I put I put two and two together. Where anyways, like Jack said he put his image on the icon, put him
Yep.
in there. Do you remember there was a chat room in that? There was a chat room in the ASL, like in the chat room, and you can tell them. I remember the chat room, but I don't
Yep.
know. I don't know exactly who it was until he mentioned that. I was like, oh, that was Jack. Shit.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So, anyways, man, it was nice talking to you, Taco. Man, hopefully, yeah, I can maybe I can join you guys when I got my funds or something. For now, I'm just gonna stick with a 925, man. But hopefully, I'm in the right protocol. Or
Hey. Yeah. No. It's one of those things where you know, whatever you're doing, keep working until you don't have to work, and then just for the fun of it, keep working. You know.
yeah. I got my site. I have my I have my stuff going. You know, just keep grinding until hopefully it come to fruition. That's all.
Yep.
You know, but yeah, well, it was nice talking to you, Taco, man. I'm gonna run. It's late up here. It's late up here. We're probably the same time zone because you're on the Eastern time zone. So
Yep. I am still in. I think I'm still in Texas. I'm not quite sure. Let me check on
I
that real
thought
quick.
I thought you were already past I thought you passed New Orleans.
No, not yet. Um, I am. Well, I don't know. I'm coming up on Beaumont, so um,
Are you on 20?
I'm on 10.
Oh, 10. Oh, okay.
Yep.
If you're on
Uh,
10, you're probably the only the only 10 that goes in there is Texas. Then you go down to
oh, yep.
Mississippi.
I'm still in Texas.
Okay, yeah. So you went
Yep.
down. So you went down and hit 10, did you? Okay, I see what you did.
Yep.
So you went down south and then hit 10 and then east and 10. Okay.
Yep. And so I see. I see my state line. Um,
You yeah, you probably coming to like Mississippi or stuff.
no, I'm coming. I'm driving all the way from Texas to Louisiana. I am
Louisiana, yeah.
currently. I'm 42 minutes from the uh, uh, 42 minutes from the border.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So you hit Louisiana, then you probably hit Louisiana, Mississippi, and then Mobile, then Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass through Louisiana, um, and then into Mississippi for a second, then Bama, and then
Florida. Florida.
Pensacola, Florida,
Yeah.
and then yeah, Tallahassee, and then from Tallahassee is where I'll break down and over to Tampa.
Yeah. Yeah. Quite a ride, man. I mean, how come you didn't fly?
So when I'm stateside, I drive everywhere just because I love to drive. And it's it's cheaper to drive a lot of the times, because once I get to a location, just think I have to then Uber everywhere, and how much money that costs.
Oh man, yeah, I forgot about that. My wife, yeah, she went to. As a matter of fact, she was in Houston. No, no, Dallas, Fort Worth. Yeah, Dallas. Went up there, and it was like she was Uber around. She went to the convention, and she like spending like $70 on Uber. It's like that.
Yep.
Like yeah, just that one way. Like if you want to go somewhere, yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Hey, this is probably a good idea. Like let's say 10 years from now, Taco. Okay, let's say 10 years from now, technology has changed. This is just my idea, right? You can just
Yeah.
you know now, they're gonna have a self-driving vehicle. They already have a self-driving vehicle.
Yep.
What about if you wanna have your vehicle, like have it like just I don't know. I'm just brainstorming, man. I know I'm anyways. No, don't mind me. I'm just brainstorming.
Yep.
But you can just how you can rent like other people's car, right? Like how like shit, like you can rent an RV, like
Yep.
you can rent a car. But why don't you just have because everybody has a cell phone, like we just rent a car by like just by bar like like you can just if you have extra car, you can rent a self-driving vehicle. You know what I mean? That's gonna be a lot of regulation. There's gonna be a lot of regs on that. No man, I see it, the whole thing. No man, I'm just brainstorming, man. So it's late at night. I'm just brainstorming. Yeah, I got some ideas, man, but my idea is like it's off planet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Anyways, but yeah, Taco man was nice talking to you. Definitely, yeah. Probably more come to space if you're having this space. I'll probably say hi to you and swing by and drop by. You know what I mean? But yeah, have a safe drive and hopefully, I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn, man. Any knowledge I can get, I take.
Heck
You
yeah.
know,
Any
what I mean?
knowledge I can give, I give.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's holding a knowledge that does not do any good. You know what I mean? Pass it on to the next person that want to listen and learn. Like, hey, I'm here
Yep.
to listen. So yeah, good luck out there, man. Drive safe and make sure you get some rest because I know I drove that before, a long distance, and it's not fun. For me, it's not fun. I get sleepy at night.
All right. Hey, you have a good night, and we'll be here.
Yeah, see you, man. I'll see you. I'll see you, Taco.
All right.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
So yeah, it is another day that we are going. Um, so we're just going on for another day. We now have 12 hours and 40 minutes left to our drive. Uh, we're just going to do this. We're just going to go. Do, do, do. That is not our exit. Um, so let's go through what some of the news pieces are that we have going on. To from Cointelegraph, forget HTTP. Ethereum has a new URL standard that can't be blocked. Web3 URLs enabled with the launch of ERC 4804 have made it onto Ethereum, allowing internet users to access Ethereum applications and non-fungible tokens without worrying about centralized censorship. Try the new Ethereum standard titled Web3 URL to EVM call message translation. Was first proposed on February 14th, 2022, and was co-authored by ETH Storage founder Chi Zhou. And that was pushed forward as described the HTTP style URL to directly access on-chain Web3 content, such as DApps, front ends, and NFTs. More than a year later,
ERC 4804 was approved and finalized in the mainnet on March 1st. So Chizu, man, I apologize for butchering your name. First delegated this out. Delighted to announce the first web access protocol for ETH, ERC 4804. Web3 URL is approved by EIP editors and finalized. So that is Web3 URL.io is decentralized, HTTP. It allows you to directly browse the rich web content on EVM pages, images, and songs. So congrats to him. Author Zhang, spokesperson for Layer 2 storage protocol ETH Storage, explained that in many cases, the ecosystem still relies on centralized web servers to access decentralized apps. Right now, all apps, DApps like Uniswap, claim to be decentralized apps. Obviously, and this is a side note, we all know these decentralized apps are running on AWS. But how do we get on the web page? You have to go through the DNS. You have to go through GoDaddy. All are centralized layers and servers. And so today, most users access the internet via hypertext transfer protocol, so HTTPS or HTTP. When an internet user clicks a link or types in a website address, the computer uses HTTP to receive the information, such as a website or pictures. Under ERC 4804, internet users have options to type in Web3 // in their browsers to bring up DApps such as Uniswap or on-chain NFTs directly. This is because the standard allows users to directly run a query to the EVM ethereal virtual machine. Then there's graphics touting to this. We're going to post this up in the space. And entries of entire websites can theoretically be accessed by these means as long as their content is stored on the Ethereum blockchain or a compatible layer 2 protocol. However, the costs of doing this are still very prohibitive, according to ETH storage founder Chizu. The critical issue here is that storage cost on Ethereum is super expensive on mainnet. Zhu said it in a recent presentation at ETH Denver. For example, 1 gigabyte of on-chain data will cost roughly $10 million. That is unacceptable for a lot of Web2 applications and even a lot of NFTs. Zhao noted that layer 2 storage solutions could help mitigate some of the costs. Zhang suggested that given the cost, the new URL standard makes sense only for specific applications. Not everything needs to go decentralized. If you are running a pretty good Web 2 business and you don't have to worry too much about centralized censorship, you can just go for that. On the other hand, the new standard would be useful for DApps or websites at risk of censorship, with Tornado Cash as an example. For example, for Tornado Cash, a lot of people can't get to them through their website because there's censorship, Zhang explained. If you're a DApp and you've already been decentralized, why are you still using centralized website for people to get access to? You add HTTPS, Cointelegraph uploads. Example of the websites that are able to be accessed via Web3, source Web3 ETH, W3ETH.io. Asked whether the new standard could be leveraged by bad actors to partake in illicit activities. Zhang said, "This is really hard to say. Just like how Bitcoin was founded, I think Bitcoin was not born for evil, but still, in the beginning, people were doing shady things like the Silk Road. They had been using Bitcoin. Instead, Zhang believes, like Bitcoin, they're just giving people a decentralized option they may not have otherwise. The new Ethereum standard is the first of its kind for the blockchain, noted Zhang, though it is not the first solution to decentralized web hosting." And there is a related article, How to Host a Decentralized Website. The IPFS
interplanetary file system is an example of a network created to do through decentralized means where what centralized cloud servers currently provide. However, Zhang noted that IPFS URL can only link to static content, which can't be amended or changed. Vitalik responded, yes, this is ideology that I'm saying sounds beautiful and sensible in theory, but it's false in practice. In reality, blockchains have to shard to accommodate cheap transactions anyway. And at that point, there's other stuff that you may as well just stick on them, and that's fine. Vitalik continued, I use IPFS to store my blog. It has serious UX issues. Took 1 hour for my last update to propagate. Sticking the blog on chain would have been way easier. For blogs, it's unfortunately too expensive, but for short text records, that logic applies. ERC 4804 will allow for dynamic data, such as allowing people to leave likes and comments and interact with content on a website, explained Zhang. Being Ethereum native, the standard is also expected to be able to interact with blockchains much easier. Good little piece there. So we're going to set that up on Twitter. And yeah, that's some of the news pieces there. One, we also you know, shout out to our Meta Tattoo Club family again, and Rove World. Glad to see what you're doing, and so yeah. Thug monkeys don't know a single thing about you, but you just have to lose. But I shot the boot tonight for Meta Tattoo Club, and we'll do so again later on. And I'll do that in about 50 miles. So maybe less, maybe sooner. So yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Coming in tonight. One, as always, we've been saying a couple times, be careful with the upcoming Arbitrum airdrop. That happens in roughly 5 days. Please go directly through Arbitrum's website. If you don't know how to get to it, you can hit up their Twitter, or if you want to go from a roundabout way, you can also go through Uniswap, and under their Arbitrum tab, they have direct access to the Arbitrum bridge. Jawad, what is up? How are you doing tonight? What is going on in your neck of the woods? Thanks for joining. As we're going to reset the room. It is now midnight, or just past midnight. This is TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 211. 211. Tonight, by Austin. Hello, Miami. We are driving from Austin to Miami. We have we're actually driving to Tampa to head to Miami, to lay over and then head to Miami for NFT Miami. We have 12 hours and 28 minutes left. And so we are, maybe going to be doing this Twitter space the entire time if we can, if we're lucky enough. We'll see how that goes, whether or not Twitter allows us to do that. So yeah. We are just going through some of the news pieces and what we have going on. One of the things we are pointing out, we are just finding the next article to go through right now. So yeah. Uh, let's see here. Uh, uh, uh. Next news piece. Do-do-do. One of the things coming out of the block, this comes from the block, posted 9 a.m. yesterday. The Polygon spins off Project Avail, and co-founder departs. Polygon spun off its modular blockchain project Avail. As part of the move, co-founder Arung Arjun departed and acquired Avail. And so that is one of those things where usually when there's a spinoff, it's because they don't want a conflict of interest. And sort of why Consensus split off from the Ethereum Foundation as well at one point, where Consensus was formed, so to speak. Arung Arjun, co-founder of Polygon, departed as the company spun off its modular blockchain project, Avail. Avail was spun off from Polygon Labs. Polygon said in a blog post shared with the block. Arun is moving out of Polygon Labs and will become Avail's sole steward and will continue to lead the project in a separate, standalone, and self-funded entity. One of the things they're probably doing with that is because they're wanting to try to attempt to meet regulation standards or keep that not decentralized per se, but to keep, like I said earlier, oh my gosh, I forget the term that I used. It's one of those moments. The lack of favoritism and where they want to show a separation of almost like a church and state separation piece. So Avail will is a self-funded entity. Polygon initiated the Avail project in late 2020 and introduced it publicly in mid 2021. Arun created the project, and as part of the spinoff, is now acquired by a corporate entity wholly owned by Arun. The Avail spokesperson told the block, in due course, the structure will evolve into a decentralized organization. The timing of that evolution has not yet been determined, with the immediate focus being ensuring a smooth transition away from Polygon ownership. And so, favoritism, not showing favoritism. Avail is a modular blockchain that allows developers to build customizable and scalable applications. Unlike monolithic blockchains such as Ethereum and Solana, modular blockchains break down the essential functions of consensus, security, data availability, and execution, and handle them separately. Avail decouples the data availability layer, making it easier for chain developers to focus on execution and settlement. Said in a separate blog post shared with the block, by using Avail, it allows builders to make their applications fast, efficient, and scalable. Avail is currently live on testnet, with the mainnet to follow in the near future. As part of the spinoff, Avail will create a new not-for-profit foundation, the Avail Foundation, and eventually hand over governance to a community. Win-win. So the spinoff is a win-win. Polygon said in its blog post, Avail will benefit from being developed autonomously in an innovative and independent manner. Polygon Labs can increase Ethereum alignment and focus on developing, scaling products. A portfolio that already includes Polygon POS, Polygon Proof of Stake chain, 3 zero knowledge solutions, Polygon ZK EVM, Polygon Zero, and Polygon MYbe, Polygon Supernets, and a number of smaller efforts. As part of the deal, the entire Avail team at Polygon will move to a new entity, the Avail spokesperson said. And declining to comment on the size of the team. I have a great relationship with Arun on a personal level. Sandeep Nawal, co-founder of Polygon, told the block, I might also invest in his new endeavor. When asked if Avail has started raising funds, the Avail spokesperson declined to comment. They also declined to comment when asked if Avail has its own native token. Avail's plan is to eventually become a community-owned protocol. The spinoff comes shortly after Polygon cut around 100 jobs, or 20% of its workforce, late last month. The native token of Polygon, Matic, is down around 4% on the day at around $1.15, according to CoinGecko. I see here some cool stuff in the aspect that one, a new chain piece, that has its own token, and if it doesn't have its own token yet, it is testnet. So I'm gonna look. You could get there from MYbe, which is Polygon's testnet, and that would allow for some other opportunities going up, especially in governance and DAO, if that's something that you're looking forward to. Yeah, some interesting things there. Let's see what else we got going on. We're gonna put that up on the Twitters. Do. And so we go. Whoa. We have now made it into Louisiana. Welcome to Louisiana. That is where we are now at. Oh, good to know.